Miller 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 and Sloan is a law firm specializing in accidents. Miller 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 and Sloan are three brothers, Dan, Mike, and C.B. Miller, and their best friend, Blake Sloan. The MMM&S trademark is a pop sound born on Manhattan's West Side that's rooted in R&B and equally at home on the dance floor. Their vocal harmonies and musical expression are especially inspired by a love for the Beatles, James Brown, Earth, Wind & Fire, and Sunday afternoons in Central Park. MMM&S has played with Chaka Khan, Marshall Crenshaw, and The Clash, among others, in their search for the perfect beat. The group lives in New York City.
I think that's perfect. I think that is perfect for the moment. So you started to work with them at what point?
Well, at the point where they were making music, and I was, having worked at Billboard for many years, I had friends at various labels, so I started to share some of their music. No one ever took them seriously, and I really don't know why. The Millers had the talent. They were a perfect storm of pop personalities. Dan's sense of melody, Barney's wink and a nod, that Mike's unbridled joy, his exuberance, Blake's cautious optimism. It was really a brilliant mix. I was just listening back to the music I hadn't listened in maybe 15 years or so. I was elevated. It was so joyous. They were misunderstood at the most superficial level, which is, white kids imitating black music. And that was a terrible disservice to them.
They call me C.B. Miller. They know I'm not a serial killer, but when I get on the microphone, you better leave me alone, cause I'm too hype, cooling at the podium while my man Dan and Blake are making sodium nitrate, potentially explosive.
Because they were celebrating their influences. They weren't imitating anyone. And you can really hear how genuine and heartfelt their compositions were because of the breadth and scope of their music. It's very eclectic. Visualize, which to me was their most fully realized song, I thought. I was always very, very admiring and respectful of their sense of craft. These were funky white kids who had real R&B in their blood, and I think that confounded and somehow alienated people who weren't enamored with their charm.
Yo, Blake, kick the bass later. This is the groove. I like it like that.
Because you really had to buy into these quirky personalities, this family group dynamic, and that took time, and that's not what the record business is about. It's very rare that A&R people take the time to get to know an artist and then to want to become an advocate at their companies and go to bat for them that way.
Every record that says, if there's any grooves on this record, we'll have to remove them. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah, it's the record. What you got?
I want to lay it on the absence of a really strong figure in the organization to navigate all the complicated relationships between radio and retail and MTV and an advocate at a big record company who can really walk up and down the halls and communicate their vision, because the music was undeniable. I think the boys were willful because they had a vision. They were fearful, and the business is unforgiving and uncompromising, and never the twain shall meet.